Hey guys, it's Kelsey, and today I have layout 8 for How to Kill a Kit with Style June. So this is a Scraptacular Cropping Club challenge to use animals in some part of your page. It could be a main design element or embellishment. I decided to go with the birds since I am using this kit this month, and this is the predominant animal that's really in this collection, and I still had this 12 by 12 of this bird paper, and all over it says birds of a feather fly together, something like that, with lots of birds on it. So I figured this was the perfect opportunity to use it. This is the B side of the gingham, so I was a little sad to not use the gingham side. But the gingham makes an appearance on multiple pages this month, so I sucked it up. I'm gutting a huge portion of this to be able to use the gingham on another page, so it's okay. I have this big plaid that I gutted from this last page I did, so I'm going to use that as a large layer, and I'm going to build from there. I did decide I wanted to pull in some more of the blue. The blue of the birds is on the background. I haven't used a whole lot of the blue yet other than that one page, so I wanted to pull the blue in again, especially because I have a whole row of the teal enamel dots I really wanted to get on a page. So I am just working with the scraps I have. Again, I have this blue piece of 6x6 scrap paper from one of the crate paper collections. Again, this teal matches it perfect. And there's no like blue papers in this collection. There's a green, but there's no teal. So I brought that in again to border my photo. I just wanted that teal brought in somewhere else other than the birds. I am going to layer up the chipboard birds. I have those left over. You saw me use the die cut birds recently. So those are the chipboard birds. I'm bringing in this chipboard home piece, and I'm just really trying to use and look at the ephemera because I am getting down there with the paper. I don't know how many more pages I'm going to be able to make, and I have way more ephemera left than I can ever use with the papers. So I'm trying to make sure I use a decent amount without it looking like I'm just throwing things on the page to use it up. I did use a border punch to punch a piece out of this scrap, and I'm just trying to build my layers. I know I've been doing this a lot this month where I've kind of been building these shelves and building layers up, but I've really been enjoying it lately, and it works really well with the style of using scraps that I've really been doing with this collection. So I'm just building from there. I'm going to get all of this glued down. I'm using another branding strip and trying to get little pieces of interest without making it look too busy. I'm having a hard time right now with this plaid going straight onto this bird paper because they both have that creamy base and you have a really hard time distinguishing the layers. So I will go back and matte this plaid in some black because it's really messing with my eye having that directly on this background paper. But I am going to gut this plaid first. I'm gutting everything still, especially because we're getting down there. So you'll see me do that. This photo is from Thanksgiving last year. I'm titling this Turkey Coma 2018 because I don't know if you can see in this picture. My mom is holding Bennett to the left. Of course, Bennett is sleeping. And then you see KK and Billy on the ground. Billy's yawning. And then on that center couch, you see my sister Becca and Brandon passed out. And then in the couch to the right, you see Marcus passed out. So there are 5 people in this photo, and 4 of them are sleeping after Thanksgiving dinner. So I saw this, and we cracked up. Me and my mom were on babysitting duty, so we were passing Bennett back and forth, but everyone else was asleep, and I thought that was hysterical. So I made sure to take a picture and record it. I am stacking these houses up. There's quite a few houses still in the ephemera, and since we are at my mom's house, I figured that would be appropriate to make a little neighborhood, use all of these ephemera houses together. But it was looking a little weird. I wanted one more layer with this home piece. Part of that was to complete the gap because I needed this house to be run to the top of the photo because then it covers up where that teal paper doesn't completely border the photo. But because I needed the houses to be up a certain amount, it left this strange gap. That chipboard home was not wide enough to cover the gap. So I'm cheating the system a little bit, and I'm going to use that border punch again to do a zigzag of a black piece to tuck underneath the home, and that kind of covers up and camouflages the gap below that. So it completely fills up that side so you can't see that there's a lapse of paper. And I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff glued down. But you can see I bordered that plaid, and it looks way better to me having that distinguishing edge where you can see the end of that layer. I really wanted to use this wreath because it did remind me of a bird's nest. There's this little banner that says Our Nest, and I really wanted to use those two elements together on the page because having that banner over the wreath really, I mean, it kind of looks like a nest to me. And since we're going with that bird theme for this page, I thought it was really appropriate. I ended up not being able to make the nest banner work, but I did really like the way that this wreath looked behind these two birds as a layered element. So I do cut a piece of it to go behind there. I think that really looks really sweet having those birds sit on top of that, almost as if they are in a nest together. So I really like that. Adds another layery bit, and it adds a little bit more cream to that spot since I have this cream home chipboard, but there wasn't really a cream in that cluster. That wreath brings that into that area. And it just lets the birds sit a little bit apart from that text paper because that text paper can look really busy when you start layering things on top of it. So it also helps in that aspect. But again, I'm bringing in some washi. I really enjoyed the look of the torn washi this month. So I'm tearing it again. I'm going to just border the top and bottom of this big layer with the washi. And I really like how that adds some gingham, adds some more texture, another layer. Just trying to get it torn. I want it to look uneven and give you that torn look, but I don't want to accidentally tear it to where it's really skinny or too wide. So it took me a minute to get that the right width. And now I'm just looking at the planner sheets and the sticker sheets. There's still some more birds. I'm like, hey, we're going with this bird challenge. Let me see how many birds I can get on this page. So there were 2 birds on the planner sheet, and there's a bird on the sticker sheet I've yet to use. So I pulled all 3 of those in. I kind of set them up like they're flying across the houses. That way I have the chipboard birds on the upper left-hand corner, but I kind of have these smaller birds in this other cluster. So there's birds in both areas. And surprisingly, I mean, maybe you guys will disagree, but I think it's a good balance. I don't think it's too overwhelming, even though there are birds in the background. So I like how that looks. I like that I got some more birds used up. I also thought it was appropriate because there are 5 people in this photo and there are 5 birds. And I think it's really sweet that the larger bird has that little, the little bird clustered on top of each other, and it's on the left where my mom and Bennett are, and then the 3 other adults are scattered around the room like the 3 birds going across the houses. I don't know if that's just me that's picking it up, but I kind of enjoyed the symbolism. Again, I'm cross-stitching. I decided to cross-stitch around the entire page just for a little something different. I loved cross-stitching this month. You guys have noticed that. But I'm trying to make each page look a little different because I know they're all the same colors. They're all the same collection. I'm kind of doing the same style of layering because that's just what makes me happy. I like how it looks. But that does mean that the pages are looking very similar. So, and I recognize that. So I'm trying to make sure that I try and do something different on each of the pages. These pages are all scattered across different albums. A few of these are going in Bennett's, a few of these are going in mine going forward, mine going backwards. So I'm not too worried that a lot of them look similar because they are all spread out across different albums. But yeah, I know it doesn't really make for exciting viewing if you're watching all of these all together and they all look kind of similar. But I really like how this one turns out. I got the Turkey Coma 2018 on there. I got all of those teal enamel dots on there. And here are the close-ups. So thanks guys for watching. Bye.